Normally, I don't do things like this, trailer reactions, because I find them mostly pointless and completely dated by the time they're posted, because there's other trailers that come out, and the movie comes out, and then the trailer reaction is typically null and void, and no one will ever watch it again. So, normally, this isn't something I would do, and it's also something I've made fun of a lot. No. I'll just pick up this side, finish it later. Okay, let's do this. Upload it to YouTube. Alrighty. 3, 2, 1... But I watched the Toy Story 4 trailer, which is a new Pixar movie, and is apparently a direct sequel to Toy Story 3, and after watching the trailer, I actually have a lot to say about it, and I felt like maybe doing this video, looking back on it when the actual movie comes out, might be interesting to see what kind of things I got right about it, and what some things I got wrong about it, and it might be fun to look back on this. Because there is a lot in this trailer that I'm worried about, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to just watch the trailer one more time, see if I can pick up on anything new that I didn't see the first time, and then I will give you my thoughts and some predictions on what I think is going to be in this movie. So let's just jump right into it. Yeah, so nothing new, nothing interesting. Number one thing about this trailer that I have questions about is, does anybody actually want this movie? Because a lot of people wanted Toy Story 3, everyone was pretty hyped about it, and it delivered on a sort of heartfelt ending to a pretty good overall trilogy that a lot of people were really satisfied about. And now Toy Story 4 comes along and completely undercuts that warm, heartfelt conclusion that Toy Story 3 had by existing. So, does anybody really want this movie? It's very confusing, and if anyone does want this movie, did they want a road trip movie? It's so strange to me watching this trailer, the direction that this movie seems to be taking, and that direction, it's not altogether unfamiliar for a Pixar movie. They love to do this duo type of adventure movie. They love to have a stupid character make a stupid choice, and then your protagonist is paired with the stupid character, and they go on an adventure, and they end up liking each other at the end of the adventure and putting their differences aside. They love that type of movie, so seeing that this is sort of the main story that they've taken for Toy Story 4 here, it's not surprising, it's just disappointing to see another Pixar movie dredge up the same story again. And another thing that makes me worried too is seeing Bo Peep, because it's almost identical to what they did in Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 was about toys getting donated to a daycare, and that was the story. And then, oh, they got donated and they weren't supposed to be, we need to get back. And then a lovable character with a cane stops them from leaving, and he wants everyone to stay with him forever because he was thrown out or something. And that's the same story that Toy Story 2 had, and now it looks like that's exactly the same conflict that Toy Story 4 is gonna have. I'll bet money that Bo Peep ends up being the ultimate antagonist of this movie. She's going to introduce this world to Woody, who he will kind of be into it for a while and then realize that he needs to go back with his owner, just like in Toy Story 3, but a lovable character with a cane is going to stop him once again. So, I really don't know what they're thinking doing this movie. Not only, again, does it undercut Toy Story 3, and now they're bringing up this movie, which looks like it's the same movie again, except it has a less interesting story, and they're doing the same thing again. Like in Toy Story 2 and 3, their plots, while kind of plot devicey and convenience heavy, they make sense. Like Toy Story 3 is about how toys accidentally got taken to a daycare. They accidentally got donated, and that makes sense to an extent. People donate toys all the time. Toy Story 2 is about a mishap in a yard sale, which is almost identical to the Toy Story 3 conflict, and Woody gets taken away in this yard sale. And that makes sense again. Yard sale. Toy gets kidnapped in yard sale. Things are sold. Daycare. Things are donated. That makes sense, and they want to get back to where they were. But in Toy Story 4, the conflict is a fork jumps out of a moving vehicle, and they have to get back. Who cares? Why is this the story you needed to tell for a fourth entry into the series? Because this is very clearly a cash grab. There is no other reason that this exists. It's obvious they have no ideas. It's obvious they don't care. And it's obvious that they put no time into this other than on the animation side, which again, Pixar always looks good. This looks good. Whatever. It's nothing new. But the central conflict of this movie looks to be something incredibly stupid, incredibly cliche, and incredibly convenient and plot devicey. And the main story looks like two guys that don't like each other going on an adventure, and then a lovable character with a cane kind of holding them hostage. It looks like exactly the same movie that Pixar has been making for the past 10 years. It's so frustrating to see Pixar, who has such an incredible animation team, constantly waste this team on scripts and stories and characters that are so unlikable, disjointed, and disconnected. It's just such a shame, because the team is so good, they're so talented, and they're animating the same movie over and over and over again. I just don't understand the point. It doesn't make sense. Why is this a thing? That's